What's going on, everybody? This is Fry. So I'm about to show you the second installment of PvZ Heroes game mechanics. So I'm going to tell you what happened, then I'm going to show you what happened. So I was doing a daily challenge, and the opponent had BOGs on the field. Now what BOG does is it reduces the attack of all the zombies in the BOG by 2. And we had already played 2 Intergalactic Warlords, which buffs the attack. So I would have expected that since the Intergalactic Warlord buffs the attack first, and then the BOG reduces it, that any minion that would, let's say with 1 attack, that would be played into the BOG, would actually gain 2 attack from the Warlord, having 3 attack, and then be reduced to 1 attack because of the BOG, but it didn't quite work out that way, so check out what happened. Later on YouTube. BOG! How are we gonna win now? The almighty BOG. Where's my environments? You ever make a deck with All-Star? I don't know. How about All-Star with Ancient Empire? Easy question. That does 3 and 4. Damn. We'll still do this. It procs his block, but I'm just gonna slowly grind this guy down. He's got no class, got no sass. Bam, bam, bam. I realize that we don't have a play right now, actually. Plus this gains attack, so yeah. It gains attack on top of the BOG. It's kind of a weird interaction. So, if I see enough interest, I'll make a survey. How about that statement? Damn! Okay, these are all 3/3s actually still. The problem is that in the BOGs, they're not so happy. We have a whole, it's one reason why I didn't overcommit there. Oh, they're only, wait, are they 2/3s? That's such a weird game mechanic. Speaking of game mechanics during daily challenges, the BOG triggers before the buff of the Warlord. Really? I played Warlord like 2 turns ago and the BOG triggers first. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, I'm writing that down. Holy smokes. I'm actually writing that down in my game mechanics because that is amazing. You see why these guys have 2 attack? I would think that these guys would be 3/3s and then they would lose 2 and they would actually only have 1 attack because I played the Warlord like 2 turns ago. But no, these things are created. BOG triggers makes them have 0 and then the Warlord makes them have 1/2. There's no such thing as negative attack in this game. That is super weird. Wow, we was not expecting that. I'll consider it. I'm not against it. Yay for game mechanics. And Mog does not get it done. Why are you mogging that one, by the way? Oh, because he thinks that if it moves. Wait. Right, because it went up 2 and then down 1. Cool. Otherwise it would be... Wait. Wait a second. Why did that imp only have 1 attack? Hold on, didn't we say that BOG happens first, it'll be down to 0, and then the double Warlord works, so it should have 2. Wait, why did that only have 1 attack? What in the world just happened? There's a difference if the card is made by Great Zucchini or made by Transmogrify? Wait, I need to pull that footage. What the? I'm going to my YouTube stream where I can actually backtrack a little bit. What the heck just happened there? Okay, here's the YouTube footage, and I'm gonna actually put the YouTube footage up on the screen here. Is what I'm gonna do. Now, here's the footage, here's what just happened here, and I'm actually just gonna play this just as it is here. This is the YouTube footage of what just happened. We put the coach, put that coach there. This is playing now. His turn, he goes and he plays Laser Cattail. He blocks. And he transmogrifies that. Now, this thing turns into a regular imp. It's deadly because of the Toxic Waste Imp. Then it has 1 attack! Look at that! Photo evidence. Weren't the little 1/1s that were Great Zucchini before, they all had 2 attack? The reason why is because they were turns of little guys. We figured the BOG, environments always happen first. So then they went down to 0/1s. And then we had 2 Warlords. We had Warlord put in a gravestone, it popped back out. So things get buffed twice. Then they turns into 2 3s. That's why they have 2 attack. This one, though, went exactly the other way around. It started at 1 attack. It got buffed twice by the Warlord, thus turning it into a 3/3. And then the BOG worked, turning it into a 1/3. What the heck is going on here? We're gonna need some theories right now. Why would it work that way? What was different between those? The only difference I can see is one of them was transformed from a Great Zucchini and the other one was a Transmogrify. Also, one of them was during his turn, the other one was during the attack phase. Hold on. I'm sorry. This is definitely part 2 of our game mechanics video. What lanes did I play the Warlord in? It was in lane 4. I don't know why that would make a difference though. Why would the lane of the Warlord make a difference? Trick effects happen before minion effects on environments. But wait a second, the first thing that always happens is it turns into a 1/1. I don't think trick effects and the minion effects would make a difference. Listen, no matter what, whether it was a Great Zucchini turning it into a 1/1 or a Transmogrify turning to 1/1, the first thing happens before the BOG and before the Warlord is the fact the guy turns into a 1/1. That's definitely step 1. Nothing can trigger it. No, the Warlord can't affect a minion that's gonna become a 1/1. The ways of BOG cannot be explained. The BOG meme saga continues. You guys want to see what happened before? This is what happened before. We'll retrack over here. First, the BOG works, turning into a 0/1. You'll probably even see a second that it is a 0/1 there. Do you? Is there a... Yeah, 0/1, and then it gets buffed twice by the Warlord. Yet when it comes to Transmogrify, it turns right into a 1/3. I didn't even see 2 things happen there. Let's watch that really slowly, actually. Maybe this will give us a little glimpse of what's going on. Mogrify. Look what its original stats are right when it's made. It's like a 1/3. Wait. It happens so fast here. Frame by frame analysis. Mogify. No, it's just a 1/3, like, instantaneously. If both of them would happen at the same time, it would be gaining, starts as a 1/1, it simultaneously gains 2/2 and loses 2 attack. Then right, for some reason here, it almost, from the game graphics, looks like they're happening simultaneously. So maybe during the attack phase it works different than during the minion phase? I'll look at your guys' theories again. Maybe there's no mechanic, the game just panicked. What's this? BOG gives -2 to Imp. Warlord gives +2 and BOG reactives and gives -2? Now again, before what happened the first time is that the BOG gave it -2, which made it an 0/1, and then the Warlord buffed it into a 2/3. I'm asking, why was the first one a 2/3, but the second imp over here from the Transmogrify ended up being a 1/3? Deadly? Why would the deadly make a difference? You think it's because the Zucchini is supposed to turn zombies to 1/1 specifically while Transmogrify isn't? But I don't understand. If it turns it into... It just says turns it into... There's a whole bunch of 1-1 minions. I would think it's the other way around. That if they need to become a 1-1... Alright, it could be we could run some tests on this. That we'll be playing decks with Bog and Great Zucchini and Transmogrify. It would just be, you know, either Rose or... We can do it with Rose, so we'll have Godify also to test it with. And Great Zucchini. Maybe we'll do that for PvP at the end of the stream. We'll try to debunk another game mechanic theory. I want to do some testing on this, so anyone who owns 4 Great Zucchinis, you know, either Rose or Citron, and then 4 Bogs, please put into a deck. I'll just use, I don't know. I'll use Warlords. I'll have to use a deck with Warlords. And we'll try to debunk it. What are some cards that make a loop? Oh, we'll talk about that a little later, how loops are. Okay, so here's Great Zucchini. Now, if it's really a difference between... This will actually have 2 attack. No! It got buffed and then... What is going on here? Why does this one have 1-3, but the Great Zucchini from the other game, they had 2 attack? Why did they have 2 there? It can't be the difference between... We see a Great Zucchini also making a 1-3. So it's definitely not the lanes. The lanes were the same. The Bog was always second. I'm going to have to look at the daily challenge and remember if the Bog was actually played before or after the Warlord. Maybe it was played after, but this Bog... No, but this Bog was also played after. Yeah, you're right. It's not... Well, we'll be able to look at the cards and see which one happens first. Try godifying this, the 3-3, let's say. Or you can do that one, that's fine. Okay, so look really closely. It goes to a 1. It went up to a 3-3, then went down, and then it went up by 1-1. I think that's a clear depiction of what happened here. If you guys look again slowly, I'm gonna sit here and explain a little bit. It started as a 1-1. It grew to a 3-5, went right down to a 1-5. It happened quickly. It went down to a 1-5, wait. It went up to a 3-3, went right down to a 1-3, and then grew to a 2-4. You can actually see it happen in 2 stages. So this has got to be, it went up, down, up. So this has got to be the reason. There's no other reason in the world it would happen that way. It would grow twice, then get nerfed in attack, and then grow another time. It must be, it depends on the order that the Bogs and the Intergalactic Warlords were played, so whichever one was played first in the game wins. Seems like we've debunked another game mechanics here, so the 3rd Warlord ended up happening last. Going to, yeah, there you go. So flood power. If this does not go in the water, you'll actually be able to see it happen again. This is a new minion being spawned that was not in my hand. It starts as a 1-1, it'll go up to a 3-3, down to a 1-3, and then a 2-4. Very clear what's happening here. It goes by the order they're played. I'm gonna actually concede right now. We're gonna go back to the daily challenge. We're gonna go back to the daily challenge, and we'll probably go and see that the Warlord was played after the first Bogs and before that 3rd Bog in the daily challenge. And if that's true, then we definitely have this. Wait a second. Wait, Warlord first? Hold on. First the Bog in lane 3 was played, and then the Warlord was played. And then we gravestone the Warlord immediately. Wait, what? It's actually not true. Wait, what's going on here? So then we stick this Warlord back in a gravestone. And the Bog in lane 2 is played after. Wait, something's wrong here. Keep it going, keep it going. I'm just fast forwarding in this video here. There's a team mascot. Now the now the Bog's played. Oh, it was still in the gravestone. The BOG was played before the Warlord triggered the second time. Oh, there you go. So BOG was played before the first Warlord, the second BOG. The BOG in lane 3. The BOG in lane 2, it was played after the Warlord, but the Warlord hadn't popped out of a gravestone the second time, and this whole thing doesn't really matter. You'll actually end up seeing something a little different in the two BOGs if we go and see when this Great Zucchini hits, actually. It's going to be kind of interesting. What really should happen, according to our theory, is that the guy in lane 3, let's say this, the guy that gets Great Zucchini in lane 3, should actually, this will put our theory right to the max, because the BOGs were played like in between the Warlords. But basically, the guy in lane, what should happen to the one in lane 3 is that first the Warlord was played, so he'll be turned to a 1-1, he'll turn into a 2-2, then he'll turn into a 0-2 because the BOG was, sorry, first he'll turn into a 0-1 because the BOG, we're talking about lane 3, he'll turn into a 0-1. Then the first Warlord shot and second, so then he'll turn into a 2-3. He'll go up to a 1-2 and then to a 2-3. Now what's going to happen in lane 2, it's going to end up being the same thing, but it's going to actually be a little different. First, he's going to be a 1-1. He'll turn into a 2-2. Then he'll turn into a 0-2. Wait a second. The one in lane 2, he'll start as a 1-1. Then the Warlord will turn him into a 2-2. Then the BOG will turn him into a 0-2. And then he should become a 1-3. It doesn't make sense, actually. It actually does not make sense, because the BOG was played before the second shot from the Warlord. So unless you say since the Warlord was played, but it didn't pop out of the gravestone and activate its ability yet, why in the world should the guy in lane 2 be a 2-3 still? You guys, we're actually really far from debunking this because it doesn't make any sense. I should be a PvZ Heroes teacher? Technically, I am. Again, you guys are seeing all this, right? We're just watching over what happened during the daily challenge. Actually, I have my YouTube. Look at this. Now Great Zucchini works. Turns this to a 1-1. So the guy in lane 3 turns into a 0-1. They both turn to 0-1s. And the guy in lane 3 turns into a 1-2. And then the guy in lane 3 turns into a 2-3. They both turn from a 1-2 into a 2-3. Now what happened in lane 2? In lane 2, what really should happen is the first Warlord shot. The Warlord didn't pop back out of that gravestone until after it was played. So first the Warlord should turn to a 2-2, then the BOG should work, should turn to an 0-2, and then he should turn to a 1-3. We're actually still not on here. We're actually still not on. This is still not working. Do we have to test when BOG is played? Is it just this unique thing that since the Warlord was in its gravestone, its ability hadn't triggered the second time until the BOG was already on the field. So the BOG happened before the second shot of the Warlord. Since the Warlord was on the field technically, even though it was in a gravestone, which under no circumstances is that even considered that the minion's on the field in this game. That's why the Warlord happens. Wait. The BOG happened. It seems like the BOG had to have happened before both shots of the Warlord. The 1-3 couldn't have been a glitch because we just had a whole test in this stream and they were all 1-3s. Wait a second. What really happened is now that the Warlord was first, the BOG happened. Wait, it's still not, there's still something really wrong here. What should happen in lane 2, it seems like for some reason the BOG happens even before the first shot of the Warlord. It's basically in lane 2. You see a 2-3 there, which means it has to be BOG turns it. You could see it. You can see what happened. BOG triggered first, and then both shots of the Warlord happened. even though the BOG was played after the Warlord. The only thing is the Warlord popped out of a gravestone. So maybe you say since it was the same the Warlord card, so the BOG was played before the second shot of a Warlord. I think we actually have to go back to the drawing book. The only way I can explain this, yeah, it was 1-1 into 0-1 to 2-3. The only way I could explain this is that since it was the same Warlord that went into the gravestone and popped back out, the BOG in lane 2 was played before it popped back out. It could be that when the Warlord popped out of that gravestone again, it's basically it's like it's a new entity. It's like it basically, now it buffs everything by 2/2. It's as if the first Warlord didn't exist. Man, how are you supposed to say that? That is so messed up. It must be that the Warlord, when it popped out of the gravestone, it basically dragged all of the other times it used to exist into its current existence. I know this sounds really far-fetched, but this is the only way I could explain this. Unless it has nothing to do with time played, and we saw it clearly in the last stream it had to do with time played. And in all of the experiments, the Warlord was to the right and the BOGs were to the left, so that cannot be a factor. And we know there's no difference between Great Zucchini and a trick. Game mechanics make no sense. I mean, I have one working theory right now, and we can actually test it if you want. Basically, what we gotta do is get a Warlord on the field, pop it into a gravestone, and then play a BOG. There's Digger. Perfect. Alright, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna play this one. Do not play your BOG yet. Actually, wait. Yeah, actually no, you wanna play the BOG. Yeah, play the BOG this turn. Okay, so here's the first shot. This will grow everything. Mixed up Gravedigger happens now. Okay, play your BOG right now, or Sappy Place, doesn't even matter. So the first BOG, the one in lane 2, was played before all this happened. And we're gonna have one in between and one after, so only play one of them right now. Sapflank can happen, doesn't matter where. Very nice. Now do the last one. Be nice if they were all the same. Okay, wait for the last one and play it after this pops out. Don't play it yet. Wait for it. Don't play it yet. Wait, do it next turn. Hi, yes, there you go. Alright, so here's Warlord. Happens to be, I'm sure the lanes don't matter at this point, but it started in lane 3 and ended up in lane 1. Survey says, so this becomes a 4-7. So this is interesting. Again, this one happened, this was before, so again, this occurred, it got it down to 0 and then up to 2. This was, okay, we can't actually tell yet. But you can play a BOG in lane 3 now if you want. We're really going to be testing with some one attack minions. It can't really see clearly with the 2 attack minions. Mixed up Gravedigger and stuff like that. You gotta kill my cards though. You can start killing things. You can Great Zucchini right now actually. You can Great Zucchini. So now you can actually first BOG and then Great Zucchini would be the best play right now. Alright, so what we're suspecting is gonna happen is that these two are gonna trigger before the Warlord, and this one will trigger after the Warlord. So the BOG, the one attack guy here will basically have 2 attack, and the one over here will have 1 attack, according to our theory. Let's just pass. Very nice, and Great Zucchini. Survey says, is it gonna happen? The different consistencies. What? The guys in lanes 2 and 3 should have different attack! No! It didn't work! It didn't work! Wait! So the one in lane 2 happened first, the one in lane 3 happened first, and the one in lane 4 happened second? Why does the one in lane 4 have 1 attack? Wait, Sappy Play says -3. What in the world is with the Sappy Plays? Wait, thank you so much, Liam, for subscribing. Wait! The Warlord was first in lane 3 and then in lane 1. Hold on, you have to give me time. Let me rope here a little bit. What happened in the Sappy Place there? The Sappy Place... Look, if the Sappy Place happened first, it would have 2 attack. If the Sappy Place happened second, it would have no attack. How in the world did the Sappy Place end up with 1? There's a difference between Warlords that pop out of graves and are played? What the heck? And the Sappy Place was on the right both times. This can't have to do with lanes. I have no idea. Okay, let's just play this into here for a little more data. Oh, it doesn't matter. You can transmogrify one of these if you want here. See, look, that one has a 2-3, and now this one's a 1-3. Oh, because it was in her hand. Okay, here's Godify now. This is the 1-1. Turns into a 2-3. It's exactly the same as the environment. Wait a second. Sorry, in the last... The BOG in lane 2 was played before both Warlords happened. And it's actually nice you played that first BOG. The BOG in lane 3 was played after both Warlords happened. Yet they're both turning things into 2-3s. Why in this game are they turning things into 2-3s, but in the last game they were turning into 1-3s? I have no freaking clue what's going on here. I have no freaking... we can try this one. Here, try godifying this, I guess. See, this is a 0-3. Why was the one that was changed a 1-3? No, it can't be RNG. It's RNG. There's still no explanation for the Sappy Plays guy having had 1-3. Oh. Here's Great Zucchini. Here we go. They're all... Look! The one in lane 4 is a 1-3 now. Look! The first two are 2-3s and this one is a 1-3. Why is the one in lane 3 not gonna be a 1-3? It has to do with lanes? They're both played afterwards. Look at this! It's not... Is this really RNG? This can't be! Wait! Hold on! Why would teleport help? Why in the world would teleport help? I don't understand. I'm not doubting it. I just don't understand what teleport's gonna give us here. Here. Let's do it like this. Let's see it in action here. It can't be RNG. It doesn't make sense. Last game, they were 1-3s every single time. I have no idea. Okay, I think we're gonna end it here. If anyone in YouTube, after I publish this, which I will, wants to analyze all of the data and try to come up with some theory. Maybe I'll test this again. We actually got all the 1-3s in here. So this is a 1-3, that's a 1-3. And now they're all 1-3s? It can't be RNG. Last game, they were 1-3s the whole game. Not a single one ended up being a 2-3 until after we played another Warlord. What the heck is going on? I can't. Maybe I'll watch it again and I'll come up with a theory at the end. And maybe that's what this video eventually will end with. I have no clue. I am totally stumped here. Mixed up Gravedigger works differently than Godify? Why? Why would it work different? It was the right to the zombie? But it wasn't. I'll tell you why. Last game, the bogs were to the left of the Warlord. The bog was in lane 2. And it was still making a 2-3. Wait a second. The bog happens first. The bog's to the right. No, but why are they all making the same thing now? It has no difference if it's to the right or to the left. Here, try it like this. Put something in lane 1. Mug resets everything. Okay, mixed up Gravedigger might work different than Transmogrify and Great Zucchini. It's possible. Well, I'll probably end up having to edit this thoroughly and then put it on YouTube. Try to put something in lane 1. Let's see if we can get something going. I'm totally stumped at this point. If any of you guys have a good theory, write in the description below. We'll see what happens. That obviously got buttered. I hope this goes into lane 2 or 4 here. Hey. That's a 1-attack minion. It goes down to 1. This will be a 1-attack minion. No, it's a 2-attack minion. It depends where the zucchini is played. We're not factoring in where the zucchini is played. There's got to be a reason for this. Try it again. See if we can get a lane 2. This one was a 1-3. For some reason, I think this one's going to be a 2-3. Put another guy in lane 1, please. It's not a Great Zucchini. Right, the location of the Great Zucchini shouldn't matter. Why would that matter? Okay, transmogrifying that. Turns into a 2-3. It turned into a 2-3. Then it gained 3 attack. You could see it. There's another Great Zucchini. No, we didn't want you to Great Zucchini that. And turns again into a 2-3. I'm gonna end this now, and we'll leave this one up to YouTube, perhaps. I'll be dead. It doesn't make sense, luck, because the first game I tested with time frame, they were all 1-3s. There's no way we got that many in a row. It can't be up to luck. There's gotta be a game mechanic that explains this whole thing. I'll look at this later. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed. Peace. This is Fry.